What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to the first ever episode of Replay. As part of PlayStation Asia's contest Junior Reporter 2.0 Season 2, I will be uploading a video each month reviewing free PS4 game offerings from PS Plus. Now, let's start with the first game for the month of October. In Space We Brawl. This game I would classify as a casual party game, mainly because it doesn't have a proper single player mode and the game revolves around playing with other players in mini spaceship battles. This game would be perfect for parties when you have a number of friends over. After a few beers, it will just be fun to compete over this silly game. This is a very simple game to pick up. Just select your ship, select your loadout, and pretty much you're ready to go. Game mechanics and controls are just so simple that everyone could pick it up. There are a number of stages that you could select from that gives you different terrains, different challenges. Two things that I didn't really like about the game. One is the sensitivity with regard to the controls. This is probably something that you could update in the options, but I think out of the box, it's just a little bit too sensitive for me. Secondly, some stages are just too distracting. Too many asteroids, too many things in the screen that you cannot just quite focus with the match that you're having. Despite those two things, I think this game is still going to be fun played with friends. So invite your friends and ready those blasters, and let the brawl begin. Next up is Strike Vector EX. This game reminds me of Ace Combat combined with Macross, and you have a very interesting new game. The story starts off quite intense, but the good thing is that the game gives you a good tutorial to get used to the controls and the new vehicle that you will be piloting. You start off with the Vector's main battle mode, which is pretty much stationary and allows you to move your view around and also to target. Yeah, I hear you. Tutorials can be pretty much boring, eh? Let's move forward to see what else this game has in store for us. There you go, out in the big blue sky. Now, the game spends some time introducing you to its other mode, Fast Mode, which is pretty much comparable to how you would normally dogfight in an Ace Combat game. Soon after this, the game decides that you're ready to go and puts you in your first fight. Since this is my first fight, I literally spent a few seconds, or, well, a few minutes to get used to how I should be fighting with this new vehicle, and also getting used to the weapons that I've been given. As the fight progresses, I realize that I've been doing some friendly fire. I do actually wonder if I could shoot down one of my fellow mates. Overall, I found this game quite enjoyable and quite interesting. Despite having simple graphics, I think it's still quite a stunning view to look at and also a game to enjoy. I do look forward to spending more time on this game. If you're a fan of flight simulators and shooting down things from the sky, then hop aboard your new Vector. See you in the sky, hotshot. After all the flying and shooting around, let's look at this relaxed looking puzzle platformer called Hue. I thought to myself, this might be a good chance to involve my better half in this particular project, so here she is.
Hue is a new two-dimensional puzzle game that at first glance looks a little sad and grey. The title gives you a little clue that this has something to do with colors. The game starts out simply with a character named Hue and a narrator telling him to find her. It is a very melancholic storytelling, but quite well written. Voice narration is pleasant to hear and is matched with a soothing background music.
But are you really seeing blue the same way I see it? Perhaps blue is nothing more than a shade of grey to you. Perhaps everyone in this world sees nothing but shades of grey. Don't you see, Hugh? This is why we're here.
Gameplay is quite linear and it's easy to navigate once you've figured out how to select colors. Using the right analog stick, you get to shift around to select a certain color from this circular color collector, as I would like to call it. And then you need to collect these colors as you progress in the game. You start out with the blue color and then you find the other colors as you go on. When selecting colors, time stands still for Hue and gives you that slow motion action to trigger your next move. It also turns the screen white, then black, just to show you the colors that's found in the area. Dying in the game just takes you back to the beginning of the puzzle room that you entered, so it gives you some freedom to try again until you accomplish the puzzle. It can be frustrating, but it also gives you a sense of achievement once you get it. It's a little slow at first, but it gets really interesting as the puzzles grow more challenging. If you love puzzles, this is a very nice game to get hooked into. The storytelling progresses as you get more audio logs and colors are introduced. It's artistic, imaginative, and even educational. Color mixing, anyone? It's a beautiful looking game and I'm just impressed by its simplicity. Overall, it's a nice platformer game and quite kid-friendly too.
And now, on to the game that I'm most excited about for the month of October, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. This game to me is what defines a proper stealth action game. I can still remember the first Metal Gear Solid on the PS1 where I was struggling to understand how to play the game until I found out what stealth actually means. Since then, this game never ceases to amaze me and I think that's all thanks to Hideo Kojima's dedication to this title. Without spoiling any of the story, I will start at this point right before the game actually starts. Yep, this is probably one of the bugbears for people about this game. Sometimes it feels more like a movie that has a game element rather than a game with some movie elements. But then again, the story is often one of the highlights of this game, which is realistic and totally immersive. If I'm not mistaken, there has even been rumors of an actual Metal Gear movie. This is the first in the Metal Gear franchise that has an open world setting. And let me say this game is massive. Massive enough that you actually need some form of transportation so you don't end up walking to and from different destinations. So yeah, you may want to name that horse as you will spend quite some time with it. If you ever wondered how it is to be a spy or a secret agent, then look no further,
That's
as this
plenty.
game gives you the
Focus
full
on a threat and
experience.
it'll be marked automatically. You can mark enemies and vehicles by
Nothing
zooming
is
in with your
served in a silver
binoculars or
platter.
camera.
You have to
Once
use
they're
those eyes
marked,
to do
you'll
some
also see their
reconnaissance before you go
positions on a
in
map.
stealth, or go guns blazing if you're the Rambo type. Unlike in previous games, enemy units will only show up in your map once you have scanned them using your binoculars. Hence, spending ample time to do recon will help save you from nasty surprises.
Hold it. There's a Soviet guard post. There are bound to be guards. Take a look with your binoculars. Put the enemy in the center of your field of view.
After some recon and planning, you can now put your plan into action. I personally prefer going in stealthily, disabling or killing targets as required.
Don't leave bodies out in the open. Find some place to drop them out of sight.
The idea of hiding bodies from plain sight continues on, so better find those good hiding spots like lockers and bins. Interestingly enough,
Side.
would
Once
have
the
been
bins
good
on the
if
side
you
of your
can scan
vehicle,
and note these
save
down
room
into
for
your
hunting
map as
down
well.
enemies in it.
I found it hard to remember where I saw the last bin to throw my rubbish in. Plus, I found that storing disabled bodies away ensures that they don't end up waking up immediately. So, I chose to kill others that doesn't have a storage place to go to.
That's a rough diamond. Good find. It'll fetch a high price.
After securing a camp, it's now time to find the next destination and do more recon until you find your objective. One other awesome thing about this game is that the time actually progresses, so you can spend a lot of time doing recon in the morning and stealthily sneak in at night to make yourself harder to spot. There was also one time that a sandstorm hit and it was easier for me to sneak behind an enemy for an attack.
Hey, that's... So you picked up an intel file. Now we know where Miller is. I'm marking it on your iDroid.
Overall, I am really enjoying the game so far and will surely spend countless hours exploring every amazing nook and cranny of this game. And I'm sure I'm barely even touching the tip of this huge iceberg. This game alone makes PS Plus very much worth it for the entire year. So what are you waiting for? With those games reviewed, I will give the PS Plus free games for the month of October a big thumbs up. If you're not yet a PS Plus member, go and sign up quickly to take advantage of this month's free games. It is really a no-brainer, especially if you own other PlayStation devices like me. Thank you for watching Replay, and we hope to see you again next month. Spiker10 signing off.